Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So basically what I want to do today is go over the lesson as if I wasn't here. So normally I would leave a video as you guys are about to see and go through. It works the exact same way as if it was there. You're still doing your warm-up. You're still taking notes. You're still going to pause and try a problem out. So again, make sure you follow and listen to my instructions. So what I want you guys to do, of course, is start off with your warm-up. So take a minute, pause the video here, and try the following. Solve the following equation. Again, we have distributed property, variables, and we'll have to take a minute, pause the video here, and then I'll go through the solution. Alright guys, so the first thing we want to do with this problem, again, I see parentheses here, so I want to go ahead and distribute. So what's 2 times 3x? That's going to give me 6x. What is 2 times 5? Well, that is 10. And again, I'll bring everything else back down exactly as I see it. Equals 5x plus 11. Now the next thing I see is, hey, I got variables on both sides. I need to attack that real quick. So what I'm going to do, I always like to move my variables personally to the left. So I'm going to say, hey, get rid of a positive 5x by saying minus 5x, and I'm going to subtract it from the 6x. So again, your 5x's will cancel out on the right hand side. What are 6x's minus 5x's? That's simply just 1x, or x plus 10 is equal to, because these guys canceled out, all I'm left with is an 11 on the right hand side. Alright, hey, all I have to do is one more step here. I have to get rid of that 10. So how do I do that? Well, I have to say minus 10, minus 10. These 10s will cancel out here. I'm left with just x on the left hand side is equal to 11 minus 10, which is equal to 1. Hey, that's my solution. X is equal to 1. Alright guys, we've gone through the warm-up again. What I'd like for you guys to do is title your notes, Graphing Solutions for Inequalities, Day 2. Again, we're going to spend one extra day. I told you guys we're slowly building on these inequality problems. By Friday, we'll have a quiz and test your guys' knowledge. Alright, so take a second. And again, at your own pace, if you need to pause the video, if you need to rewind, feel free to. Graphing Solutions, Inequalities, Day 2. Alright, so by the end of today, guys, you're going to be able to solve, by the time you leave this classroom today, you should be able to solve a two-step inequality. And not just that, but graph the solutions on a number line like we did yesterday. Alright, so yesterday, if you remember, we were solving inequalities, and our solutions ended up something like x is greater than or equal to negative 2. And we had a graph that we had to show that visually. And again, how did I do that? I went to negative 2, right? And I said, hey, on negative 2, can I actually equal negative 2? Yeah, because it has the equal to piece down here. It's going to be a closed solid circle. And, well, we said x is, and again, it's important to know how to read this, is greater than negative 2. So what's a number that's greater than negative 2? Well, something like 1 or 2 or 3. All these values are to the right. So I would show my arrow going in the right direction. Same thing over here. If numbers are less than or equal to negative 2, and again, I still go to negative 2, because it's equal to, it's going to be a closed circle. And what are numbers that are less than negative 2? X is less than. Less than means to the left, to the lower side, where the negatives are. Now, what happens if I get rid of that little bottom piece, that equal to piece? What if I just have x is strictly greater than negative 2? Well, I'm still at negative 2, but I use this now open circle up above. And while numbers that are x is greater than, so greater than again means to the right. What are numbers that satisfy this? And the last thing here, of course, is less than. X is less than negative 2. While I'm still at negative 2, because I'm not equal to it, I can't stand on there. That circle has to be an open circle. Numbers that are less than are to the left, towards the negative side of my number line. All right, guys. So that was the graphing new idea for the week, right? So here is the new concept, the new thing that we're adding today. Do inequalities always stay in the same direction? Okay, so in other words, will my less than sign ever become a greater than sign? And yes, this does happen. This occurs when multiplying or you divide both sides by a negative number. What I want you guys to do, this is the big idea for today. Copy this down. Take a minute, pause the video here, copy this down. This is what you're going to want to highlight and study for Friday. All right, and I'll show you guys what I mean in a quick second. Okay, so let me prove it to you. Do inequalities always stay in the same direction? Well, will this be a true statement? 4 is greater than 2. Yeah, that's definitely true. What if I add 5 on both sides? Well, if I added 5, I get 9. If I added 5, I get 7. And this is still a true statement, right? 9 is greater than 7. And it works also with subtraction. Again, I'll let you guys see that problem on the right. What happens if I'm multiplying? Okay, multiplying by a positive here. Notice this is a positive. Well, 4 is greater than 2. Again, it's still a true statement. What if I multiply the left by 5? Well, I get 20. If I multiply the right side by 5, I get 10. Well, is 20 greater than 10? Yes, this is also still a true statement, even if you go ahead and you division. Now, the issue happens is when you have a multiplication or division with a negative. Notice I'm multiplying now by a negative 3. Again, our statement's still true at the beginning. 4 is greater than 2. But when you multiply by negative 3, you get 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. This is now false. This is not a true statement. Okay, negative 12 is not greater than negative 6. This actually, in order to make this true, the inequality has to be reversed. Negative 12 is less than negative 6 on a number line. Okay, if I want to prove it here, here's 0, negative 6 is somewhere here. Negative 12 is way out here. Again, negative 12 is a smaller value. So again, whenever you're multiplying by negative, we have to, whenever I multiply on both sides by a negative, or if I divide both sides by negative, I have to make sure that I flip my inequality. It changes directions in order to keep the statement true. Okay, so how does that apply to what we've been doing? Well, let's go ahead. I want you guys to take a second, copy this problem down. Okay, we're going to try it out together here. So I have negative 2x plus 7 is greater than 13. We were practicing with this yesterday. So again, of course, first thing we do, minus 7. Minus 7 from both sides. Now, I'm subtracting here, so again, I don't have to flip the inequality right now. That doesn't work that way. The 7 and the negative 7 will cancel out. Negative 2x is greater than, what's 13 minus 7? That's going to give us 6. Now, this is the key portion for today. This is the important piece. How do I get rid of multiplying by negative 2? I have to divide both sides, not just by 2, but by negative 2. As soon as I divide it here by a negative, okay, I have to flip my inequality sign. These 2's will cancel out. X, in order to keep the statement true, as we saw in the previous slide, x now becomes less than negative 3. This is my solution. Now, again, this is the key part here. Because I divided by a negative, I have to flip the inequality sign. So, again, let's go ahead and graph this. Here's my number line real quick. 0 is located in the middle. I'm interested in negative 3, so let's go to negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Now, am I opened or closed at negative 3? Well, I'm not equal to it, so I cannot stand. Okay, and now what direction? X is less than, so I'm going to go towards the negative side, the smaller end of my number line, and that's how we graph our solutions. So, again, this is the star moment right there. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, that's when you flip the inequality sign. Not just because you're subtracting or not because it's just negative. As soon as you multiply or divide both sides by negative, you have to flip that inequality sign. All right, guys, you know the deal here. I want you guys to pick one problem. Take a second. Pause it right here. Take a second, try it out. Okay, when you resume, I'll show you guys the solution. All right, let's start off with standard man. So I need to solve for x here. So don't get rid of the minus 4x just yet, right? You got to work with the 3 first. So let's do minus 3. Minus 3. Your 3's will cancel out. And again, because I'm subtracting here, it doesn't affect the inequality. That still stays the same. I have now negative 4x. That has that. Don't forget that negative right there. Is less than or equal to 11 minus 8. Sorry, 11 minus 3, excuse me, is 8. What I have to do next is I have to get rid of that negative 4 up front. So because this is multiplication, I have to divide. And again, as soon as you're dividing, not by a positive, but as soon as you divide or multiply by a negative here, I'm dividing both sides by a negative, this is going to affect my inequality sign. Your negative 4's will cancel out. You're left now with x not less than or equal to. It now becomes greater than or equal to 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. Perfect. I have my solution there. I have to show that graphically, so let's do that real quick. Here's 0. Here's negative 1. Here's negative 2. And because I'm equal to negative 2, I can actually stand on it. It's going to be a solid circle. Get that little line on the bottom lets me know that x is greater. Greater means I go to the right-hand side. All right, there we have it, guys. Standard map. All right, for beyond standard, I have an extra step. I have to distribute. A negative 2. What is negative 2 times 3x? That is negative 6x. Negative 2 times 6 is minus 12, which is greater than or equal to 18. All right. Now it becomes a two-step equation. Not too crazy. How do I get rid of a minus 12? I have to say plus 12 plus 12. These cancel out. I'm left with negative 6x. Still, again, I don't have to flip the sign right now. I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative. 18 plus 12 is going to give me 30. Last thing I have to do now is get rid of multiplying by -6. So I have to divide, and again, I'm dividing here by negative one more time. As soon as you divide by negative, these guys cancel out. X now isn't greater than or equal to, it now becomes less than or equal to 30 divided by -6 is going to be -5. There's my solutions. Let's show it graphically real quick. I'm trying to keep this video short so you guys can get to the class activity. Here is 0. Here's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. That is -5. And I'm going to say, hey, this is equal to, so I can actually stand on here. So this is going to be solid circle. And x is less than. Less than means I'm going to go towards the smaller side, towards the negatives. I'm going to point left. All right, guys, what I want you guys to do is one more. Okay, pause it right here. Pause it, pause it, pause it. Pick one side or the other, and then I will show you guys the solutions in a second. Alright guys, so here we go. Let's go through the solutions. Again, go with standard method real quick. Let's kind of go through it. So again, I had 5x plus 4 is less than or equal to -11. Again, let's get rid of a positive 4 by saying -4, -4. Of course, your 4 is canceled out here. Drop down your 5x less than or equal to. Still stays the same right now. Now again, careful here. -11 minus 4, you owe me $11, then you owe me $4, you're going to owe me 15. Now right here, this is what confuses students all the time, right? They're getting like flip mode, flip mode, flip mode. Be careful. How do I get rid of 5? Well, I have to divide both sides by 5. And again, students, what they want to do here, this is a common mistake. This is something that you probably want to write on your sticky note, right? Did I divide by a -5? No, right? I didn't divide by a negative. So does my inequality sign have to change? No, I divided by a positive value. So it's still going to be x, right? The 5s will cancel out here. -15 divided by 5 is -3. And again, because I didn't divide or multiply by a negative value here, there's no need to flip the inequality sign. So how do I graph it? Well, let me go to -3 because it is equal to, it's solid circle. Now it's saying x is less than means below everything underneath it. So we're going to go towards the negatives, towards the left. All right. Now beyond standard, same thing actually happened here, right? You distribute first of all. So 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. How do we get rid of a positive 6? I say -6, -6. Okay, your 6's will cancel out. Again, drop down your 8x. Drop down your inequality as you see it. You owe me $10. You owe me $6. You now owe me $16. And again, right, here's the mistake that happens. Students see there's a negative out here, and they're like, oh, I got to flip that inequality sign. No. This green step that I took here, I divided both sides by a positive 8. It's okay. As long as I don't divide or multiply a negative, I don't have to switch. That's when we switch the sign, when we multiply or divide by a negative value. And again, this guy was positive, so it stays as greater than or equal to. Now, how do I graph it? Well, let's go to -2. Solid circle, because again, I'm equal to it. I can stand there. And x is greater than. What are numbers that are greater than -2? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, all the numbers to the right. Again, if you're iffy on this, test the number in here. And then wherever that direction it goes, that is where you're going to point your arrows. All right, guys, what I want you guys to do, take a second, highlight a problem that was most important to you, or the concept that was most important to you. Again, that idea of flipping your inequality sign only when you multiply or divide by a negative. And again, use your sticky tab. Take a sticky tab out right now. What is a common mistake that somebody can make? What's something to watch out for? Okay. Once you guys are done with that separate piece of paper, here is your class activity. All right. So again, you're going to go through, do all 6 problems. Once you're done with all 6, make sure your name is on it and turn it into the inbox. Yes, I am collecting it today. Of course, whatever you don't finish does become your homework. But again, this assignment, you should have plenty of time. This video is about 14 minutes right now. I need to cut it. But again, as soon as you finish, turn it in the inbox, please. Have a great day, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. No, I'm kidding. I do giveaway. Oh, no, I don't do any giveaways. Have a great day, guys. Make sure you guys finish this assignment. I'll see you guys tomorrow.